It's both a great pleasure and my privilege to be with you today, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. We are in an epic crisis right now, and this crisis is due to our unwillingness and our inability to face the national crisis that we're having. And this crisis is called mental illness. The National Institute of Mental Health states that 1 in 5 adults that currently live in the U.S. are suffering from a mental illness. And as you can see, this is a problem and a crisis that is most likely more prevalent than we want to accept or to think about. A lot of the cases in mental illness are not reported for various reasons. People do not report or don't want to share because they are ashamed. As a licensed clinician, I've had the opportunity to work with many families and children throughout my years here with LAUSD and at other jobs as well. And I've had worked with one young child that has impacted my life forever. And I'd like to share a story with you. And this is a story of a 5-year-old girl. This 5-year-old lived with her mother. And as the night would come, this 5-year-old was petrified because she knew that the spirits would come to the house. As she was told and as she would hear on a nightly basis that her mom would talk to the spirits in agony and in pain, telling the spirits, please leave me alone. Don't touch me anymore. Allow me to sleep and allow me to be rested so that I can take my children to school the next day. Every night on a nightly basis, this 5-year-old would listen to these words. So she covered herself from head to toe with the blanket. And this was her protective shield. As the sunrise would come, they would all pretend like nothing was wrong. Little girl would go to school. Day would go on about, and then the night would fall, and it was a cycle all over again. On some days, 5-year-old would not attend school because she knew that she had to come or attend doctor visits with her mom. Mom knew that something was wrong, so mom wanted to get some care, some health care. And so this 5-year-old found herself with her first interpretation job. As a 5-year-old, she went with her mom and provided assistance in translating between mom and doctor. And as they finished their doctor's appointment, they would go home and try to make sense about what the doctor has said. At the end of the day, they reasoned that nothing was wrong. It was maybe just nervios or the nerves. Mom continued a journey in terms of finding some care for herself. So the next stop was acupuncture. After months of treatment, this didn't seem to help. As mom talked about these ailments and the healing that she was so searching for, one of her friends said, you should come with me. You should come to this thing, they're gonna heal you. So mom and 5-year-old found themselves in Santeria. So for those of you that might not be familiar with what Santeria is, it's an Afro-Cuban religion. And so Santeria became a part of their life for more than a few years, maybe 5 years. As this young girl grew up and they went from Santeria to then yoga practice for 10 years to then vegetarianism for 10 more years of their lives, young girl is now 1997 attending university. She was sitting in a clinical class when she finally made a connection. And she knew at that moment that her mom suffered from a mental illness. This connection happened in 97, and it was in 2005 when her mom was finally hospitalized with a 5150. As we know, this is a hospitalization that is in an involuntary mental hospitalization due to someone being harm to themselves or to somebody else. The 5150 was followed by a 5250, which is an additional 3 to 4 weeks. If you haven't figured this out, this 5-year girl is me. And this is my mom, who was diagnosed with schizophrenia in 2005. In conclusion, the journey has been unconventional. We've learned a lot. I've grown as a professional and as a human, because part of me has had to be strong, to be the advocate for my clients, but to also step aside and to feel that anger, that resentment of why me. Mr. Toastmaster?